Alright, so this one's coming out. I'm going to try that rubber mounted evil piece of crap motor. See what that looks like. Oh shit, I got these stupid studs in the way. I can't chuck it very well. Long, everything's long. Yeah, this doesn't line up worth a squat. A lot more height. More than that. I need this box. That's not enough really, but don't move. Move it. Don't touch it. Not very good, but it's a lousy mock-up. I don't want to spend the time to do it right though. We're not even close to the being square. This one's going like this. Okay, so that's on there like that. The studs are on top of the flange, but being down like that allows me to do it. Okay. Let's see if we can remotely square this way. We're actually sort of almost flat. It's good. Okay, I want to see these push rod angles, how bad they were. Like I thought, that one's going to be really, really bad. This one here might not be too bad, this one. Yeah, that one's not too bad. This one, it's off quite a bit. So these are a lot closer together than the other one, so than that one down there. And it's very, very thin there. But you get up here, it's way thick, so. Alright. So you have to cut a lot of this material out of here to make room because it's so far over. Obviously. I think this cylinder deck's a lot taller than the other one. So I bet you we're probably close to 7 inches on height. No, actually we're about the same. Yeah, we're about 6 3/8. Yeah, okay, that's about the same. Alright. That's just not expect. Now this case is rotated way in. That needs to be over there. That's going to change everything a little bit, but so this mock-up is not too good. Okay, right now we're about 6 1/2 inches now. Can't get this thing to stay where I want it to be. Okay. We lost our dimension this way though. We're laying on top of the case here. We need to pull it this way. It won't let me do it. Okay, so now what happened when I straighten up the bore over here, it screwed up everything else, obviously. Okay, so right now we got to go this way a little bit. Okay, that's about centered up on that. Okay, that's square that. Still needs to go this way 1/4 inch to even remotely fit. So the push rod angle is way off right now. It's actually got to go that way, which would help us on this one. And this one here, obviously, it's going to get worse. So these are just too close together. The other one's a little bit too far apart. But I'd maybe cut the outside fin on the inside a little bit. The dimension helps, but it's just a matter of which case you want to use. Either one will work. This one has a better design down here for our scavenging and all that. But the push rods are horrible in that respect. The case is a lot stronger through here because of the way it's made. This one has the piston squirters built into it. So the only negative right now to this one is it's just the lifter location's in the wrong damn spot. So that's the only really hiccup on this one. So you have to weigh all your options. But it needs a better mock-up, but this one's not too awful bad. Like I said, this push rod can change a lot. Right now we got a lot of errors here right now. So it's going to get better when I move the case this way. Let me go ahead and try to move that. It didn't want me doing it, but let's try it anyway. Too bad, that's rotated a ton. We just need to get a lot higher on that damn block over there. I don't want to do this, but this is just not even remotely close to being flat at all. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I'm not saying it's much better, but I think it's a little bit better. Okay, do this here like this. Get an idea about where we're at now. 2 inches probably. Oh yeah, we're 2 inches right on the money. Now we're still low on this corner because the case is not square. It's way low on this side. But so it's going to be more than 2 inches offset right now at this dimension. The problem is this stud's in the way, so it's... Oh, we're not even... Oh, we're too far off. Yeah, look at the dimension here. We're a ½ inch high here. So this thing's going to drop way down. I got to get these studs out of here to do any kind of accuracy at all. So all we're really looking at here is push rod angles, I guess. So this back one lines up really nice. It's almost perfect. And the front one got a lot better. I'm going to move that over. So this isn't actually that bad. So these are narrower by a quarter inch up here. But this, like I said, these are narrower on this one. This one's a lot wider. So this setup here likes the early case. This one here is more tailored to the late case. So It's just, things are different. I didn't expect this to be different on the rocker here, on this part. But it is. It is what it is. So if that drops down, that's going to help us a lot on our other angles. Because obviously right now the angle is way up. Yeah, that can come down a lot. This needs to be flush with... There's going to be a cover across here that's right where my finger is. So that's a 1/2 inch from where this plate is. So this can drop a 1/2 inch. We had 2 inches or plus here. That'll drop us down to 1.5 inches. Whoa, almost got dropped the camera. So I think this one here we were an inch, we were 1.25 inches. I think we're going to be about 1.5 inches on this one, easily, right in that area. So that's not bad. We only went up a 1/4 inch bigger offset, but we went 3/4 inch bigger bore, we went over 3/4, we went 800 bigger bore. So this case is probably a little bit thicker in here than the iron head, which makes sense because that's a 3.5 inch bore motor and this is 3 3/16. So this being taller right in here is giving us that extra height here that we're seeing. So numbers are kind of making sense a little bit. So I'm thinking the lake case fits better with this cylinder, and then that cylinder over the 360 cylinder works better on the old iron head case. So there you go, you got 2 different motors to build, depending on which motor you're building. So now the other thing is when you go to the bigger case here, like I said, the bore is bigger, so it comes back further this way. And you see how you got this boss right here? See that you can fill all this in, and you already got material here anyway. So kind of when you weld all that all up, it's got something right there. Whereas this one here, you weld it all, there's nothing there. This one actually undercuts under here, so if you welded that up, you'd be solid. So, now the disadvantage of this is you cannot change these lifter bores. They're part of the case, so whatever you got, you got. There's no. So when you're here to do a bunch of welding, these bores are going to move around on you a little bit. So you're going to wind up having to sleeve these things. Now that's not really a major issue, I don't think, because I can do some aftermarket lifter style stuff in there, I think. Could probably make that work. Probably go to a bigger diameter lifter, go to a keyway lifter out of a modern motor. And I can bush those things, and I can even spread the bore over a little bit if I wanted to, but that's going to affect the cam time. And once again, we're changing the cam time, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not concerned about that. Just I got to keep it within the lifter, within this cover here, to make that work. So, all right. So I think there are some pluses to this case on this big bore, but there's a lot of negatives when you're using on the small bore. So, there you go. That is why you do mock-ups, to see what happens. If you don't know until you poke it in there. All right. I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to check it up on this motor now. We'll be back.